I'm Richard Bissell. I started Richard Bissell Fine Woodworking in 1982. I've been doing this for 41 years, which blows my mind. I have a whole line of standard pieces I make. Everything is built to order. We also do a lot of custom work. Having been doing woodworking for perhaps a year, I decided I had to go into business. So I moved back down here from Burlington, back down to Putney, where my parents had this wonderful property. And I started my business and really had no business being in business. Still here 41 years later. From picking out the lumber through to the final finishing and waxing of the piece, it's all done by one person, which is much more enjoyable work-wise.
I think it's what I expected from a cabinet shop job, but I did take a job at a cabinet shop that was pretty unique to begin with. I had never worked in a setting where there were standard procedures for something. Each thing in this shop, there is a way, and it works. And that's so much better. I think the systems Richard has in place for how the business works and how stuff is made here make that possible.
One of the most difficult and important tasks when you're making a piece of furniture is picking the lumber out. You're starting with rough lumber, and it's got twists in it, and it's not parallel edges and not planed. So there's a maze of decisions that have to be made. Once I've figured out what the basic layout is of whatever it is we're making, I work on the construction details. Sometimes I do a 3D drawing to help me work out problems. You can do amazing things. You can essentially build it before you build it. About 12 years ago, I stumbled upon a computer-controlled tensioner, which has really changed everything about how we do stuff in the shop. I'm much freer to design how I want to design something. I don't have to say, well, that's going to be too difficult. A few years later, I ended up purchasing a computer-controlled 3-axis router, which not only can make mortises to match the accuracy of the tenons, but can do a million other things. It carves out chair seats. It cuts any kind of curve you want to cut. It's like a printer for wood. It's very freeing in terms of how I design a piece of furniture. It makes the furniture affordable. Something that would have taken a tremendous amount of time and a lot of skill can be done in a couple of hours. So I have a Wood-Mizer bandsaw mill. All the pine that we use on our pieces with the backs of case pieces is all pine that was cut off our land and air dried here. But it's as much a hobby as part of the business. It's more a philosophy of not wanting to let good trees go to waste.
Sometimes I imagine anyway, like the tree to some extent, if there's some piece, some part of the board that's an injury or like a weird mark or some grain changes suddenly. So I like that about the medium. It's so much nicer to have such a personal connection to the whole process of the thing that you end up also keeping and living with and using for a long time.
A good day is when everybody comes in and does their thing. It's really nice to have the autonomy going and get into what you're doing.